All right, and we're back for another good show. Look,
Uh-oh.
Damaged Blue, I've been wanting to call out people for faking the funk. I know Rachel Dozio has everybody thinking about the NAACP and whether or not their leader was really white or not. But I was the first one over at Hollywood Unlocked to call this person out that I got to talk about, Shaun King. He has become the black folks' messiah on social media because he can find every dead body that a white man is killed with a black man not having a gun and putting on his social media. Now, I'm not to say that he hasn't done good things, but Shaun King, I have said at Hollywood Unlocked, needs to be looked into because we've allowed this man to become the voice of our movement, which I thought was crazy. And it was Yandy. I'm gonna put that out there. Yandy from Love and Hip Hop New York, who told me to stop reporting on Shaun King because of the good things that he was doing. And I said, no. His family member came out, made some allegations that we should look into, and then Shaun King blocked us at Hollywood Unlocked. That for me was a red flag because, hey, I am here to promote the same stuff that he is, but I also have to hold him accountable. Let me tell you what Shaun King has done, Damage Lou. Shaun King has been called out by Tamir Rice's mother for stealing donation funds. I'm going to say allegedly because these are her words and I don't want to be sued. So activist Shaun King now is in the news. He bought a brand new luxurious home in New Jersey. Now, according to the Daily Mail, the lavish 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home that sits on Farrington Lake came with a hefty price tag of, listen, $842,000. Okay, so Tamir Rice's mother, Samaria, who I've never met, Damaged Blue, I've never met her. She's called him out and she said, quote, he's a clout chaser after he raised $60,000 in honor of her son. Now, she's gone after him saying that she didn't receive any of the money until a court intervened on her behalf. And she also didn't permit him to raise money on her son's behalf. Now, these are the photos of what she said. Shaun King owes Tamir Rice money from unauthorized fundraising, and that's the truth. She also said, and others that use my son's name, and I'm building a foundation, Tamir Rice needs his money. She also said, the work I'm doing in the community with investing so our children can have a safe place, they know who they are. Guys, this is not good for Shaun. What do you guys think?
Ooh. I'm not surprised. I'm gonna be honest. Tamir Rice's mother is notoriously protective of her son's legacy, as she should be. And I've personally seen where she sent people cease and desist about how they're using her son's name, what kind of money is happening. So if Shaun King is the scammer that he is alleged to be, you would think that based on how she treats everyone else, he would know to skip her. So that was a weird moment. Also, full transparency, guys, when there was a thing between DeRay McKesson, Blue Vest, and Shaun King, I was assigned to do a really, really, really deep dive into Shaun King's past. I read a lot of receipts that I won't get into because we'll be here all day. And based on what I read for those 2 days of working on that story, Shaun has a lot of questions to answer that he still hasn't answered. And his wife's sentiment tends to be, well, whatever money he keeps from y'all owe us that because we're helping you out. So it's not just him, it's his wife. They're working as a team. And she, in some ways, from what I've seen, seems like a mastermind in this. So it's a couple, not just one person. I'm just saying, allegedly. If they are scamming, they're scamming as a couple. It's not just him.
Man, I feel like this is another case of toxic positivity. I mean, it's crazy because I hate that I'm saying this right now. I never donate to those causes because of this, because I'm afraid that everybody's raising this money and the people really affected don't get the profits. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but like you said, Blue, I've did my own research and stuff I've been looking into on Shaun King. And a lot of people that worked with him, worked in these organizations, people that gave him money to start things, it's never started. And he's still creating GoFundMe's. He's still raising money, using people's names to get profits. I don't know what Shaun King needs to do. I don't know if he needs to say I'm a for-profit kind of organization kind of person. But everybody thinks when they donate to these causes that it's going to the people that are affected. And clearly it's not. This is not the first time we heard this. It's kind of like, bro, it's hitting the fan.
Well, let me say, I also don't donate to these causes. I have 10 years experience working for a labor union, and I saw lots of dues money come in, and at least I knew what we were doing, negotiating contracts, fighting labor disputes, showing up and organizing strikes so that way healthcare workers could have better experiences serving at the bedside. But let me just tell you something. There's a bigger thing that people are missing here. Shaun King is an ambulance chaser, in my opinion. I watch every time a person is shot and killed that we're posted on Hollywood Unlocked. It's right there on Shaun King's website or on his Instagram, and he's pushing people to sign up for these petitions. When you sign up for petitions, you are giving away your email addresses and sometimes your phone numbers. That data is power. That data is money. He owns an online magazine or online news company that he makes hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not in the millions, in that we don't know where that money is going. And I believe that is why I am in a for-profit situation. If I was back in doing what I was doing in the day, fighting for social justice or, organizing my community around Black Lives Matter, that money would be raised solely for the purpose of going back into my communities, creating programs, creating situations to defend these parents. Some of these parents who lose their kids may not have therapy. Provide therapy for them. Provide support for their little siblings. Why don't you do things to relocate a family who was shot and, somebody was shot and killed in their home, and now everybody knows where they live because now they may be in danger. What are you doing with the money, Shaun? Why are you blocking Black media who are asking questions? Why is your family saying your birth certificate says that you're a white man out here acting like a Black man? Why is it that you believe that you are beyond reproach? Why do you believe we don't have the right to ask questions? And why are you profiting from what this mother is saying off of a dead Black kid? A dead Black kid that represents multiple Black kids who are killed at the hands of white policemen. You should be ashamed of yourself. And you know what? I'm not going to shame people who are successful in philanthropy because you can become a millionaire in philanthropy. However, you have an obligation to disclose your money. You have an obligation to disclose how much money you're making as the employee of that organization. And you also absolutely should never be in a crosshairs with the mother of a dead person who you have profited from. That is embarrassing. It is disrespectful. And you know what? I'm taking back my position and my policy. Shaun King needs to be canceled. He needs to be canceled until he can come before this mother and right the wrong, and before he can go and do an interview. And if not with me, go do it with Charlemagne. Go do it with somebody that you trust, or do it with somebody who you know will let you talk your because Blue Damage, I don't know. Blue, you said you did a thorough investigation. He's done some interviews explaining the birth certificate scandal. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that?
No, I was more looking at the money because people were trying to get paid. The piece was more focused on his lack of transparency with his funds.
Right. And so
I have a question though about that though. Did he ever directly address, because I think to your point, it's dangerous to be a gatekeeper for the Black community, but we used to have transparency around if you are Black yourself when such big accusations are coming from your own family, bruh. Like, that's damning.
Yeah, no, he did talk about the fact that his mother had an affair, put another man's name on his birth certificate and all that. And you know what? Sometimes that does happen. My mother gave me another man's last name. She didn't put a name of a man on my birth certificate because she was a side chick. I've talked about that in my book. But you know what? That ain't good enough. That ain't good enough for me. And you know what? It's the audacity it's the audacity with your expectation that we just accept whatever you say. Where is the money going? What are you doing? Where?
I think we're sick. Like you said, worse than stealing the money, you're raising the money. So like you said, ambulance chasing, a situation happens, you create a cause around it where everyone in good faith is giving. And then it's like years later, we're like, yeah, what happened to the money? And people have been speaking up. Like I said, this is all alleged. I don't know what's true and what's not true. But I will say that I know for a fact that she is not the first woman to be asking, where's the money? A lot of people's been asking where the money is.
And the emphasis is that his biggest supporters, like people who are going to be in the comments saying, Blue, why aren't you speaking up for Shaun? You should love him. I think it's disgusting, and I'm going to say this on the record, that Shaun King, he basically profits off of pain, but the number one group of people that he attacks are Black women. And when he gets in trouble, the number one group that he uses as a shield to protect him is Black women. If you are a Black woman defending Shaun King without doing your homework, you are just collateral damage. He does not care about you. He does not care about you, sis.
Wait. So is he a gaslighter?
Absolutely. If you go on Twitter and put in Shaun King, it'll be countless faces of Black women and the men who love them saying he is not it. Talcum X is not it, y'all. He's not it.
Not talcum. Oh, talcum X. Is that like talcum powder? Is that like talcum powder? Okay, I can't.
If you take
So
talking
listen,
part and pour it all of Malcolm X, you get Shaun King.
and you know, I want to say this because Yandy is a friend of mine. I like you, Yandy. You know, I love you, but this is why you have to stay clear. You know, I wanted to have Tamika Mallory and Shaun King here on the show some time ago in the heart of one of the deaths of one of the black men. I can't remember. And Tamika Mallory was going to come on the show, but we couldn't figure out timing or something. She had a lot going on. This is when she had done that speech in the heart of the Black Lives Matter, and she was like everywhere. We couldn't find the date, but Yandy had connected me with her. And I can't remember if it was Yandy or Tamika who gave me Shaun King's number. And me and Shaun King were texting each other, and we were talking about me getting on the phone with him because I wanted to interview him. And I think, you know, anybody with me, like, this is my test for when people are hiding. Okay, this is my Tyga test. This is what I'm going to call it now, the Tyga test. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Oh,
When you're hiding,
okay.
you don't get close to me because you like, because if I get close to him, he gonna sniff it out. I ain't gonna get close. They don't want to get close. They want to be cool. They want to be in the orbit. Because me and Tyga, we've talked about him coming on the show. But they don't want to get too close because they know I'm going to ask the questions that you, Joe Public, want to know. And the problem here is that while I really thought Shaun was doing a great job of informing people, which again, from the union, I learned there are different stages of action. There's information, agitation, and then action. He does a great job of informing us. All those dead black bodies are all over his Instagram. He does a great job of sending out emails, asking you to ask more people to send their emails so he can build up his database that he's going to retarget people for other campaigns that have nothing to do with the frustration and arguing or angst that they're experiencing that one time they give you that one email address. Then, after he informs you of the dead bodies and he agitates the out of you, he doesn't do anything. And that right there is when all of you black people who look at him as your Malcolm X and your Martin Luther King because you didn't do no research and you don't care about history, you're the reason why he living up in that mansion, looking down on all you dead bodies and taking from the dead body mamas, and y'all made it happen. So you have to take responsibility.
All we need is transparency. If Shaun King was transparent and brought his receipts and his accountant and cleared this up, this could all be over. That's why I think something smells fishy is if you were transparent, this would all go away. Go ahead, Damage. I don't understand.
And let's be real, for all the supporters of Shaun King, like, this is not to come at you any type of way because there's a thin line between good and evil. Let's be real. Had Shaun King never did anything positive, I'm sure he's done a lot of positive things. But at the end of the day, like Jason said, there's information, there's agitation, but where's the follow through? You're raising this money for these causes and the money's not getting to the destination. That's a huge problem. And for people that donate, this is why I like to be a part of the activism. If I'm going to do something, I want to be there physically because you think you're giving your money and then you don't even see where it goes. You don't even see what happens with it. And that's really, to some degree, is some laziness on our part, the people that donate sometimes. You can't just send your money off somewhere and think it fixes a problem. You have to see it through. And right now, all the people that donated, you're hearing it from the source. Tamir Rice's mother, that she did not get the money. People should be furious, not just her. Everyone that donated should be upset. If I gave any money, I would be pissed. So,
well, I'm going to go a step further. Y'all talk about protect black women. The way y'all try to drag the founder of the Black Lives Matter, Patrice, all across the coals, saying that she was stealing money and doing things because as a successful black woman, she earned all that money doing things outside of her movement. The way y'all drug her for filth, you made her show her receipts. You made her apologize, not apologize, but explain herself. You made this woman, you try to destroy this woman who, in my eyes, has done the most amazing, impactful movement in my life since I've been a black man in this country. You tried to destroy that woman, and y'all ain't over there demanding the same type of shit for this white man, alleged white man. You talk about transparency, white is transparent. Let's be transparent since you're transparent, okay? I want answers, and I want y'all to tell me why Patrice had to go through what she had to go through for Black Lives Matter. We know what BLM, Black Lives Matter. Why? Because Black Lives Matter. What is Shaun King? Just a name. What is he doing? Just a name.
I want to give a quick shout out to my prototype, the reason that I am a writer and a social commentator, James Baldwin. Today is his birthday. The day that we're taping is James Baldwin's birthday.
James Baldwin was a Leo?
Yes, James Baldwin, my favorite human on the planet who I have never met, was a Leo. And the thing about James Baldwin that I love, and I love that we're having this conversation, James Baldwin's best friends were Malcolm, Martin and Ed Medgar. He was the friend that kept them together when Malcolm and Martin weren't kind of feeling each other, right? And they were his friends. They loved him. This gay black man was at the forefront of the movement, right? Bayard Rustin, Martin Luther King's right-hand man, aside from being cool with James Baldwin, was a gay black man. And so a lot of times there are gay black men and women at the forefront. And yet we drag them and we act as if the gay rights movement and the black rights movement are separated, when Coretta flat out said herself that if Martin was alive, he would have been fighting for gay rights. So I just want to point out that black women and gay people have been at the forefront of the struggle. But when you try to deify this questionable black man instead of doing your homework because you want him to be the Messiah, look where we're at. We get no grace. So I just want to point that out on Baldwin's birthday. Please recognize that all types of black people can lead the movement, not just people like him.
And in this moment to realize that James Baldwin and I are both Leos, because my birthday's August 16th, and that I'm a gay black man, and I could have been hanging out with Martin and Malcolm sipping the tequila on the side. Baby, when I tell you, I would have been right there talking about, don't you let Talcum X get through the red rope.